Oh, before my writing, I had to go to the toilet because the anxiety kicked off again. Okay, for my own, we had a very long passage of about 7 or 8 paragraphs, and it was crazy for me, guys. It was crazy. I was called in first to me and all of that. She was really kind and we conversed like we were friends. Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, you're welcome. Take a seat, relax. Yeah, because on this channel we talk about everything nursing, beauty, lifestyle vlogs, and so many other interesting stuffs. So if you're new, make sure you subscribe before clicking out of this video if you don't want to miss out on the fun anyway. Yeah, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for subscribing, for the love shown so far. I appreciate you guys so much. Yep, in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you all my experience writing IELTS for the first time and passing, how it all went, the processes, and so many interesting things that happened along the line. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. Without wasting time, yeah, and if you want to hear that, let's get into the video. Yeah, so I'm going to be starting first with what exactly motivated me to want to write IELTS in the first place. Firstly, I wasn't really satisfied with working in Nigeria as a nurse. I wasn't really satisfied with the pay and everything. Basically, I wasn't really satisfied with it, so I felt like the only way for me to just leave Nigeria was to write IELTS and start the whole process. And again, some of my senior colleagues that actually went encouraged me to go ahead to take the exam, but actually I was kind of too scared, and I felt like, no, I might not pass. Yeah, because I've been hearing a lot of things about people writing IELTS and not passing and everything. So I also had the mentality that no, I might as well not pass it. So I just didn't want to bother myself. So the whole idea started in 2018 after my nursing school, and I couldn't get a job. And then the job I got was trash, basically. Wasn't paying me well, and having to work with quacks and all of those actually put me off. I wasn't too happy about it, so I kept on procrastinating. 2018 I did not do anything. 2019, yeah, 2019, it came to my realization that if I wasn't taking a step, nothing was going to happen. So 2019 I took the bold step of trying to prepare for the exam. Of course, January, February, March, April, I did not do anything. I was still working as at then, but my whole mind, my body was not in Nigeria, to be sincere. But you know, having to go through the whole process itself is, should I say, kind of frustrating. It's kind of a difficult task and everything. So having saved enough, like I felt like I've saved enough, of course with the support of my parents. So I in May, by May ending, I started preparing. I did some personal study, but of course I was working and it wasn't really convenient for me having to read and work. And then as at that time we were really short-staffed, and I think I was doing nights continuously, so I had basically my night offs to do a bit of reading based on what I understood. So I kept on doing that for some time. And then by beginning of June, yeah, I decided to take my annual leave. So I took my leave as at then, and it was a 6 weeks long leave. So I felt like, no, I wasn't going to waste this leave doing nothing. So I went ahead to register for a face-to-face tutorial. So I did that for about 1 month, yeah. And I felt like I didn't want to do my IELTS after I had resumed work, because I didn't want people to know that I was going to sit for IELTS in case I did not pass. Like, people would not know. Seriously, it's crazy having to think that you wasted a lot of money and time and everything, and still you did not make the required band. It's frustrating, to be sincere. So I tried as much as possible to pick a date before my leave came to an end, so I decided I was going to do it by ending of July. But then something happened. I can't really remember. I think I spent out of the money for my exam. Something basically happened, so I couldn't register for the exam by late July, so I had to pick the closest date, and that was August. So I had my speaking a day before, and the others, that's listening, reading and writing, on the second day. Yeah, and I also registered for UKVI, because as at then it was UKVI you could do. If you wanted to do academic, then you have to do UKVI again. So I just wrote the UKVI straight up. But now I think it's been changed, so now you can take the IELTS academic and also use it for your migration purpose. So yeah, that aside, so I did my speaking, I think on the last day of July. Yeah. So so I had to travel to Lagos, because the UKVI center was only in Lagos, and I think maybe Abuja. It wasn't in Ibadan at all. So I had to travel down to Lagos a day before my speaking, and lodged in an hotel. Thank God we were two, because the center for the exam was on the island, and lodging, meaning I'll be lodging for 2 nights, because I traveled a day before my speaking, and then I was going to still be in the hotel till the 3rd day. So thank God we were two, so we splitted the money for lodging, and we stayed in the same room like till the end of the exam. So on the day of my speaking, guys, like, it was really funny, because man, I read online and I was told that you don't have to overdress, like they're not looking at your dressing, but still you have to dress corporate, like you don't want to look shabby going to sit for an exam. So immediately I got there, I thought I was at the wrong place. Probably I was at a bank or something, because I saw a lot of people putting on suits, tie and all of that, and I was totally confused, like, what are we doing here? Like, so many people were overdressed for it basically, and we were already told that no, it wasn't like they were going to be assessing our dressing and everything like that. So I wasn't too worried about it. I just made sure I looked nice enough, you know, and presentable basically. So that was the first thing that confused me, like, hope I've not heard the wrong information, like I'm supposed to be dressed like I'm going for an actual interview. But then I just braced up, because I saw a lot of people that wasn't overdressed, and you know, I spoke to them as well, like, hope we are still on the right track, and people were like, yeah, it depends on what you want to wear. So that aside, so the next thing we were okay, my speaking was supposed to be 9 a.m, but I think some of the examiners were not yet around Nigeria, so we waited extra time. I got to my center at 8 a.m, so I had to wait extra hours before we were all called into the hall for verification, biometrics and passports and everything. So it was checked, and surprisingly I was the first person to be called. My anxiety just flew over the roof, guys. Like, I wasn't expecting it. Like, I just felt like, you know, it was going to be like every normal exam, and then my number wasn't even starting with 1 or 0 or something. Like, it did not come to my brain that we were splitted. So the fact that I was the first on the speaking doesn't mean that I was going to be the first person on the roll, like for the other ones. So I was really surprised. But that aside, so we were called, we did the verification, and 4 of us were taken to the room upstairs for the exam. So we sat down, and a few minutes later I was called in first, and you know, did all the paparazzi, sat down, like met the examiner, introduced myself, answered the questions. I tried my best as much as possible to answer the questions correctly. So after that I came out, and that was it. And you know, guys, like, one thing I've got to realize about speaking for IELTS is that it's a conversation. It's like not a particular interview, it's like a conversation between two people. If you're not flowing with me, how do you expect the conversation to flow? Because the woman was actually really nice to me and all of that. She was really kind, and we conversed like we were friends, and we spoke like we were friends basically. But the other guy that went in after me to the same room, I asked how the examiner was or how she treated him and everything like that, and he told me that she wasn't really nice, that she did not wait for him to answer the questions before she asked other questions. And then I was like, probably you guys were not flowing in the conversation, and then maybe your answers were a little bit too direct, because like you have to give indirect answers in some way. Your answers does not have to follow a particular pattern. You have to be able to twist and give right meaning to your answers. That aside, long story short, I got 7 in my speaking. So the second day 2 is for listening, reading and writing. Yeah, so I think we were supposed to start by 9 a.m. and we got to the exam hall, like we got to the center at 8 a.m. again as usual. So I was a bit anxious, and the main reason I was anxious was not because of the whole test, it was because of writing in particular. Because I've heard a lot of people tell me, like I've heard a lot of people say they failed writing and all of that, and I was really scared because I didn't know what I was going to meet, I didn't know what I was going to expect. But you know, I summoned up courage. So we were checked, they did the passport verification, and fingerprints and everything necessary verifications, and we were asked to go into the exam hall. They did the microphone checks and all of that. So we sat down. I think we actually had to enter the exam hall around 8:30. As long as you come early and they do your verification, then you'll be allowed in. But once you're allowed in, you cannot go out again. There is a toilet inside the hall that you can use in case you want to ease yourself. So we all sat down, and I was just thinking, because I didn't know what to expect. Basically, I was really anxious because I felt like, what if I didn't pass? Like, the money is a waste. And UKVI at that time was about 100,000 naira. So I was really anxious. I was really scared, kind of scared that if I did not pass, it's a waste of money and time and energy and everything. So 9 a.m. they did another microphone check to make sure that all microphones were working. You have to do your microphone check, because if not, you're listening, it's a waste of time. So after that the exam started with listening. We were given up what's it called, answer booklets. Listening was in front and reading was at the back. So you were told to check and be very sure that you were doing your listening on the listening aspect. So we started off and we finished. Yeah, so after listening, we did reading for 60 minutes, and you know, I feel like the time just goes this way. Like, it just goes. You don't even know how many minutes, especially for reading. We had, for my own, we had a very long passage of about 7 or 8 paragraphs, and it was crazy for me, guys. It was crazy. I was scared I wasn't going to finish, but I tried my best and it was cool. Yeah, for my listening I had 7.5, for reading I had 7. Yeah, and now it comes to the only writing. So before my writing, I had to go to the toilet because the anxiety kicked off again, guys. So I went to the toilet, used the toilet, and when you're going to the toilet, you have to take your passport along and submit your passports. That's weird. That's how the security is high. That's how high the security is. When you're going into the toilet, you sign in and you sign out and you show them your passport. So after that, we began the writing, and I used pencil because I didn't want no mistakes in my answer booklets, and you know, pencil was easy to correct, so I used pencil for my writing. A lot of people prefer to use pen, but it just depends on what you want. I felt like I wasn't too organized, and the question was somehow, yeah, the question was somehow, but then I used pencil and tried my best, and God crowned my efforts, which I'm happy about. In my writing, I had 6.5. That was a really narrow escape. So the results came after 13 days. And to be honest, I wanted to do my CBT also before resuming my leave, if that was possible, because I just wanted to finish up with the exams before the 6 weeks elapsed. So the results came after 13 days, and yeah, the results came after 13 days. And after the 13 days, that was only when I started reading for my CBT. And then I think I did my CBT. I had already resumed, yeah, I had already resumed, and I did my CBT the following weekend, since I was off duty that weekend. So I just went ahead to do my CBT, and that was it. Like, guys, this is it about the processing. Yeah, it was fun because it was an entirely different experience. It was different from what I was used to. I got to meet a whole lot of people during my face-to-face tutorial, and it was fun for me. Really, it was fun. Yeah, so guys, I've come to the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, by the way. I hope I wasn't too serious along the line. Yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure to share with your friends. And guys, like, if you want to do something, if you want to go ahead to do something, just take that step. That's all it takes. To be sincere, like, that's all it takes. You just have to take that step. I'm not a motivational speaker, but then, like, if you really want something, if you really feel like you want this thing, then you just have to go ahead to do it. You don't have to think about the side effects or what is going to happen, and any negative opinion about what is going to happen even after you've done it. Just go ahead to do it and be hopeful that it's going to turn out well, sincerely, because if you don't do it now, I don't know when you're going to do it. Yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to my rant. Yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video, and make sure you do subscribe, share, like, and comment. Bye.